Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would make a part 2 on my health journey, but also on my skin issue because I was struggling in the previous weeks with inflammation and just itchy and scratchy and all the poisons coming out. So, part 2 is that I found an amazing remedy. And granted, I do feel super blessed and thankful. I live out here in Southern California, and I know the rest of the world right now doesn't always have this kind of weather. I live not too far from the ocean, and it was the perfect day to head down to the beach. And I spent the afternoon in the sun, in the sand, and in the salt water. And I'm telling you, nature has the best remedies, and they're free. So how perfect was that? And I headed down to the beach and I knew I needed some sunshine, some vitamin D. Uh Feeling a little pale, and I'm not one to like bask all day in the sun, but I do love to get some sunshine. It energizes. It feels so good. Like, we are solar powered, and I know I said this before, but when you get that natural sunlight, and it doesn't mean like laying out there for hours and hours, and if you are under an umbrella, you could do that. I'm not telling you what to do. Once again, this is not medical advice. This is just me sharing my experience and what worked for me. And I was out there, just exposed to the sun. And it is, in the month of February. So the UV rays were not as powerful as it would be in the midday in the summer. And so it was the perfect temperature, good 75 degrees out in the sunshine, was able to just meditate and lay in the sand. And when you lay in the sand, you get so grounded into the earth. And it's just this beautiful connection into the sand. And I knew I had to get in the water. And I'm not one to jump into the ocean, maybe put my toes in sometimes. But this time I'm like, I got to immerse my body into the salt water because salt water heals. Salt water is antimicrobial and it's like so good on healing wounds or if you have a sore throat or um, detoxing. Like there's just so many benefits of salt water. But being out in the ocean, I knew I had to immerse my body for more than just a few minutes into the ocean water. And so I played. Like I'm big on living life with lots of playtime and joy and fun. It's not supposed to be miserable and suffering. So I played out in the ocean on the boogie board, catching waves, and I could feel a sensation of burn on my skin, but I knew it was healing all of my wounds because I had itched so bad that it turned into like blood, scabs, nasty, not good. And I'm telling you, like, just all throughout my legs, all of those wounds, like, in a matter of time, I just felt the sensation of them healing almost almost like a Marvel movie where, like, you see somebody's skin and it has, like, this big open gash, and then all of a sudden it just heals, like, literally minutes. Got out of the ocean, laid and exposed myself to the sun, let it dry out. And there's one thing I've learned too, that when you go to the ocean and you get the energy from the sun and the salt water, you're not supposed to come home and take a shower right away. You're supposed to allow that energy to absorb into your skin. So I didn't take a shower that night. I waited until the following morning, even though sometimes you're like salty and sandy, little crusty, but I didn't care. So I didn't shower until the following morning, and I just allowed my body to absorb that salt water. And I'm telling you, like, the point of me sharing my experiences is because it's all about listening to your body. Your body sends you these messages and it whispers at you, and if it doesn't whisper, it screams. And it's basically trying to tell you to do something different. So instead of putting a Band-Aid on it or finding some, medicine to take, it's like, "Hey, your body's screaming at you to do something completely different and heal your wounds." And there's so many free things out there. Like right now, just being outside in nature, just being attuned. And I know there's so much like solar activity going on right now. If you follow any of that, which I tend to nerd out on it sometimes, but there was one of the biggest X-class solar flares, like an 8.1, and coronal mass ejections, and it's basically the sun, like, throwing off all of these, like, flares and energy, and it's catapulting towards Earth, and we can feel it. If you're a sensitive individual, like, if you're a highly sensitive person, you can feel it, and it's just these bursts of electromagnetic waves that are shooting out, and we're receiving it. So it can show up as ailments, it can show up as pain, it can show up as headaches, it can show up as being fatigued. And so that's kind of where I'm leading towards what happened with my health journey, because I already ruled out by having those blood tests that there wasn't anything medically wrong with me. And I know I'm super sensitive to my surroundings, my environment, and I could feel these things. And of course, if I don't eat good, then that's my body's way of sending me a message saying, hey, we're going to scream at you and we're going to give you a skin condition that's not so pretty. Because right now, I would not wear shorts, to be completely honest, and this weather's too beautiful. So um, I hear you loud and clear, and it's my physical body having a sensation towards making poor decisions, number one. And also, number two, there's things in our environment that we can't necessarily control, and one of them is like the solar activity. And I like to use this caveman reference because people think it's not true if they can't see it or have all of these facts, but it is science meets the woo-woo world and bridges the gap in between. So, at the same time, I'm very intuitive, but I also like to do, some research and data and have evidence. But I just feel like I feel like a no, and it's what works for me. It's not a one size fits all, so it may not work for everybody. But the caveman reference is that we are evolving literally right before our eyes, and that's why I think it's such an exciting time to be alive right now. And people think, gosh, it's so chaotic, and it is. It's very chaotic, but it's a beautiful evolution because I chose to be here right now at this time of evolution when things are changing and we are upgrading. Our DNA is upgrading. So, like the cavemen, they didn't really use English words, and they, used grunts, and they had to go forage their food, and, all those type of things. And we have evolved so much as a human being. So right now we're in another shift. We are going into another era, into another age as we are coming out of this chaos, and it's not pretty. Like, I think it's probably going to get worse before it gets better in the coming years, and if you're not ready for it, if you're not grounded and stable and feeling solid, then you might actually it might hurt, and I'm getting the messages that you got to listen to your body. You got to feel your body good with good food and do things that are healthy. Like, get outside, get attuned with nature, go sing, use your vocal cords. If you hum, if I can't sing, but if you hum, if you just use, your sensation of your vocal cords, you're actually healing your vagus nerve. And so there's just so many things that we can heal our nervous system, because our nervous system is on fight or flight, like overdrive. I mean, many of people, and it's like, don't listen to all the crap that's out there on the news. It's meant to anger you. It's meant to get you in fear. It's meant to get you like in an uproar. And so turn that shit off. Turn that shit off and get outside and go do something that's good for your body. Go make a home cooked meal. Go spend time with your loved ones. Get out in nature and go explore. Go see what nature has to offer. I mean, when I came home from the beach, I felt so good. I was just kind of on cloud nine. So I need to get back there because I think I need like a round two. I started to kind of get a little itchy again. And I'm telling you, it's not like a miracle that, oh my gosh, it healed my skin overnight. I mean, it did before my eyes, but it's a regimen. It's something that you have to put into practice. It's something that you have to repeat. It's not something that like, oh, I just did this one little thing and it's the cure all, the be all, the end all. And it doesn't work that way. And I think that's what so many people want, the shortcut. And I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But go outside, get your bare feet into the earth and feel that Schumann resonance. If you ever known, the Schumann resonance is like the heartbeat of the earth. And it beats, I believe, at like 7.83 hertz. You could look that up. But we are shifting into that connection, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful time to be alive, even though it looks chaotic. But nothing changes when we're in our comfort zone. So I believe since all this chaos is exploding and all these things are being revealed, it's like this beautiful thing that happens before the light at the end of the tunnel. So be that light, get out there, get some sunshine, and I can't wait to see you again next time. And we'll keep up going on the health journey. And once again, like, take it or leave it, it's just what has worked for me, and I'd love to share that if I could help somebody. All right, bye.